Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi.
Oh, that's good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
Shall we start the meeting?
yeah, we'll start the session. Uh, okay, hi guys. We'll start our session today. Today's session is mainly based on the second part of our program, which is post processing. How important is shooting? That much important is post processing. Without post processing, we can't get an good image, and it is one of the most important process in astrophotography, and it's like painting. It depends on the artist, and there are no rules. You can do however you want, but there are some ethics going on in this. You're not supposed to do some manipulation and claim that you did not do that. And can you guys share your favorite moment under the night sky, like watching through a telescope or sitting under the night sky watching the meteors? If you guys have any such type of story, please let us know. We'll discuss. Yeah, guys, kindly respond. Am I audible? Yeah, the people who are commenting, yes, kindly share your story by turning on the mic if it's possible. Okay, I guess nobody wants to speak. Okay, we'll get into the process. First, we'll discuss about stacking, how to stack with freeware software. We are going to use Cyril, and there are many number of softwares you can see. Let me wait. Let me share my screen. We're going to use the software called Cyril. Uh, this is the software. Uh, I guess the screen is visible, and this is one of the more very good software. Although it is free, it offers a lot of features which even a paid software is almost equal to good equally paid software, which I'll also show how it will also work, because some of the features are only available in the paid softwares, and it is very much easy to use. Software called It's Inside, which is here, and we'll first go on how to stack the images, and this is very easy to stack in Cell. To start off, I'll show and tell about some of these settings on the screen, and obviously this is open. I guess you can see my mouse. I'm audible. Starts. Okay. Rajesh, I have actually shared about it in the WhatsApp group. Please go through it. Otherwise, message me. I'll definitely share how to install it. Okay, we'll continue. And to start off, this is the open. This is used to open the images. I mean, for the processing part and for the stacking part, it's very simple. It's a three-step process. We need to. This is our home directory, which means the main thing in Cyril is we have to name the files accordingly. As we discussed yesterday, we are shooting four types of films here, namely lights, bias, darks, and flats. Each has its own purpose. For the software to recognize such frames, we are supposed to rename each of the files accordingly. So I have done it here like this. This contains my light frames in the sense the frames of our celestial object, and accordingly we have bias, darks, and flags. Once you select your home directory, uh, just click on here, and if you go over and select your home directory and just click open, you're done with the first step. And for the second step, you are supposed to click on scripts, and we have many options over here. uh, like you can see, the main thing is now we have all the types of frames. Sometimes we are not able to shoot everything because due to weather issues, you have to back up very early. There are many kind of issues. I usually don't shoot biases and flags because I don't need them for my imaging. But for as a beginner who starts, they are supposed to shoot calibration frames, which makes their images very easy and less to process later on. Yeah. This is the option you are supposed to choose: OSC pre-processing, which means one shot color pre-processing. uh, One shot color in the sense we are shooting on a color sensor, which is a DSLR or mirrorless. And if you can see here, this is the mono pre-processing, which is related to the mono cameras. Almost all of the dedicated astronomy cameras or mono cameras, they have such a huge benefit over color cameras. I will discuss it in a different session. It takes hours and hours of content to speak about mono imaging. It's totally entire different field. And to continue here, we have few options. Let's say if you don't shoot any of the frames except the light frames, which are obviously you need to shoot the light frames. Without that, you can't come to this step. Yeah, but the thing is, in Civil, these are add-on scripts. You can't directly get when you install this software. So you can. I'll share it in the group if anybody wants these scripts. Okay. As of now, I have all the frames, so I can just click on one shot color pre-processing and just click run on script. That's it. The process will start. It will take a lot of time depending on your PC power, and I'm not going to do that right now because, yeah, we'll stop here. Okay, guys, this is just the easiest way to stack in Cyril. If you guys have any doubt, please let me know. Okay, is my voice audible right now? Chaitanya? Yeah, there was a comment that way. I'll share the links definitely, Sagar. Okay, do you guys have any doubt until right now? It just looks like three steps, but we have different softwares like this is called the Deep Sky Stacker. Let me open it. This also does the same purpose, but in Cyril we can do everything like pre-processing and post-processing. But in Deep Sky Stacker, it is only meant for stacking the files. You can import your light frames. This is almost similar, but Cyril is very easy to do, and you don't have to spend much time on wasting your time on stacking. Yeah. If you have any doubt until now, please let me know. We'll go on to the magic part of post processing. Can I continue? Please give a yeah, yeah, thank you. Kindly, if you don't want to speak through the mic, just uh, type a message in the chat box, which will be very helpful. Yeah, thank you. I'll continue. To start off processing, we are going to process this image. I have already shared the file in the WhatsApp group. To open the image, I have already opened it. If you want to do it again, just click on open. It will actually open into your I mean the home directory. Here you will have a file naming in the form of fits, which is a format of serial. But I did stack my image long ago, like around 2 years ago. So I did in deep space tracker. That's why my file format is in TIFF. One important thing is that in astrophotography we deal with large file sizes, like around this entire raw data is around like 30 to 40 gigabytes of storage. So that will uh, in such cases only we are able to get good images. You can't just shoot 10 images and expect good image, right? Yeah. And here we have two or three types of three main types of files depending on the software used. For almost general cases like deep space tracker, Photoshop, wherever we use, we have something called the TIFF format, which is like the holy grail of file formats. You will get the best detail out of your image than your raw. It will contain lot of image, like because it's a 30-bit to 32-bit data, which means it has a lot of colors to expand to say it simply, because it's a huge topic. I can't explain each and everything in this 1 hour session here. So let me open this file, and serial and this software fits inside uses the format fits, just different types of formats, but yeah, the working process is the same. Let me open this file. The file is imported. Here you can see 32-bit file. Okay. Here in post processing, the main thing is we are supposed to produce two things, which are stretching and background extraction. These are the two main processes you are supposed to do to get out of your images. This is the what like this is the stacked output directly from Deep Sky Stacker. I'll wait a second. I'll show you the single raw file, and I will compare it. I think you can't see this very well in your phone or laptop because of this screen sharing, but you can see a lot of noise in this single image, and see how bright the image is. You can't see anything able out of it. Soon we are going to see some awesome raw Fiki cloud, which I shared yesterday, and you will be amazed by the process which we are going to see now. Okay, let me open my raw main image. Yeah, here we are. First, we'll discuss about stretching. Okay, for that, I'll open Photoshop. It's the same file over here. The reason why my image is this bright is that I used the technique in photography called expose to the right, which means you have to expose till the end of the histogram. By histogram, I mean it's a representation of brightness of your each pixel on your sensor. Okay, let me show you the histogram of this image. It doesn't show here because it's a 32-bit file. It's the highest format you can ever do on a PC, or which can your laptop or handle, at least in photography. Yeah. Change that, we can go here and change it to 16-bit channel, so it will be very easy for our computer to process. Now we can see the histogram. Here, if you see at where my mouse is pointing, this is called the histogram. It's basically the representation of how much amount of white and black pixels are there in our sensor. Like, sorry, the brightness of each pixel. now we have a decent amount of pixel. I'll show you the histogram of this properly. If you can see here, totally this consists of three parts, namely this one which I'm moving right now is the blacks, okay, and this one is the whites, and this one is the midtone, obviously. So the processing goes like this. We need to stretch it and keep it in the middle as possible. But you may have a doubt here, which is this image is already bright. Why I need to maintain almost histogram goods like? But the thing is, we need to extract the details from this image. That's where the next processing background extraction comes. So we'll do some. We'll see how this stretching works. Basically, stretching is we call this image without any stretching is as a linear data. We are supposed to make it as a non-linear data. Then only we are able to extract all the informations from a tip file. You won't get anything processed straight out of the software. You are supposed to stack. You are supposed to bring out the details. I guess uh, it made sense of searching. Did you get the idea of stretching, guys? Please let me know. We will see how it works. Yeah, just let me know if it makes sense. Cool, cool. Yeah. Now we'll see how we can start stretching our image. If you want to see how this is the linear data, it will look a little dark because of different types of softwares. In Photoshop, it did look bright because of its algorithm, which compresses the image and shows it's a little better. Since Cyril and the pitch inside, let me show it. This also shows that because it is the format of the software which shows the file accordingly because this is meant for astrophotography post processing. So we can see we can't see much detail in the image. To see what is hiding in our image, we can do a little trick. Just click on here and go for histogram. You will get an idea of the nebula, what's present in this image. I know this looks terrible and you're not supposed to do this, but to just get an idea what is hiding in our image, we can see this. Okay, once we are done with that, we can just click on auto stretch, which shows which technically stretches the image, but it will show a little brighter, which will be helpful for our background extraction. I'll show two softwares. Will do background extraction in both. I prefer Pitching Sites background extraction very well compared to Serial because it's not up to the mark. We'll start with Pitching Site. I know I didn't send anything regarding this software because it's a paid one, so it won't be that good to share it. Yeah, you know. Okay. Well, but the process behind each of them is the same. uh, we have two types of this is the holy grail software of astrophotography. You can do literally everything in pitch inside. That's why it costs a little. So there are two types of background extraction, namely automatic and dynamic. Automatic is as the name suggests, if you use the default settings you can easily do that work actually. So we'll try with the dynamic background extraction where we are supposed to put the sample points. By sample points, I mean for starting purposes, just click on this. I'll enter some values which works for most of the time. This is very complex software to explain each and every setting, so you can blindly follow these settings as of now. Uh, and for the samples size we can keep it as big as like 80 to 90, and just click here on generate. For the first step of background extraction, we can just click on generate. It will automatically generate all over the image because we can see the gradients all over the image. Okay, then we are supposed to subtract the images, the I mean the gradient from the main image. Then we'll get what we need. Now just click on this tick mark icon, which will run the process. It will take a little while to process because my speed of my computer. Wait. Yeah, once it's done, yeah, I'm gonna apply as auto stretch here. At the command key is Control plus E. See, now we have actually revealed the nebulae gap which we saw earlier. This is a row of Yuki cloud complex attachment from the dark horse nebula in the Milky Way galaxy. See, we can see the difference. Actually, let me do it once again. Then I can show you the back also. Okay, I'll show you the background. Then you can easily find the difference, which is the gradient, which is the nebula. Uh, I'm not saying directly for serial is not that good for background extraction, but in my experience, I mostly like PixInsight to do that, and I will do the up to background extraction in PixInsight, and for stretching, I'll use serial because it has something called A sin H stretch, which basically brings the colors of the nebulae exactly how it is supposed to be than doing it in the regular way of stretching the images. So you can definitely use serial for that. I'll use sometimes, but I don't prefer it personally. That's it. Yeah, that doesn't mean it is bad. Okay, now we can. I'll show you the background. You stretch it. Here, if you can see this, you can easily find out the difference. This is the background. I mean, this is what the gradient looks like from our image, and this is what we stretch it. Let me go here. This is what we started with, and if you see this image, this is our main image, and you can see a whole image of gradient because I shot this is in around like a bottle sound skies, which is pretty light polluted way back in June of 2021 during lockdown. So yeah, it's a stack of 900 images. That's why I'm able to pull some details. Otherwise, you are not, you won't be able to do that good. I mean, you can't get good images to shoot the less frames in a light polluted sky. If you can clearly see that, this is the background gradient, which is subtracted from this image. So this is like you are separating this from this image, so we'll get something called this black image. That's it. If you can stretch it, you will see the nebula in this. Simply, that's what the background extraction is. Separating the gradient. Let's say if you shoot from a bottle one class sky, then also you are supposed to do this because you won't your images won't be that gradient free. You will have some issues in image. So always to get the nebula right, this is one of the most important thing. This is where it differentiates from mobile astrophotography. People who edit their images on a smartphone, like. They use the software called the Adobe Lightroom Snapshot, where you don't have such features to extract the background and reveal the nebulae, so that their images will be mostly with the temperature of cooler tint, and that's why you are not able to see such images. If you even apply this to your own data, if you have shot previously before, and I'm again and again saying that the data should be good enough for you to process. If you throw in a bad data and try to replicate such images, you won't be able to get